Hi everyone and welcome to our monthly webinar. Today we're kicking off our security series. We'll be talking about how XDR is revolutionizing cybersecurity. I'm Andreas Khalil, Partner and Program Manager at Unveiled Solution, and your moderator for today. Before I hand you to today's presenters, I would like to mention our rules of engagement. This webinar is recorded and will be available on demand. Please reach out to your partner or direct contact on the team to gain access. For questions, leverage the Q&A feature in your top toolbar. We will dedicate time at the end of this webinar to answer them. Our featured speakers for today's webinar are Joseph Calaf, President of Ampere Solution, and our Microsoft MVP, Eli Karkafi. Team, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Andreas. Good afternoon, good morning, everybody, and we will get this presentation going. So this is the first release of our series talking through Microsoft Security. For this presentation, this webinar, we're going to talk about XDR and the future of cybersecurity when it comes to XDR. So let's start with an overview. It's probably preaching to the choir to let the team know and everybody that's attending here that threats today are evolving at breakneck pace. The attacks are a dime a dozen. We run into customers all the time that have been compromised one way or another. And traditional defenses are just struggling to keep up. The good old days of going after hacking and malware and ransomware just not working. It's very difficult for your traditional IT security teams to keep up. And what we're seeing is that XDR is actually a game changer. It is truly the only way to be able to defend against what's going on in the marketplace today. There is, and we'll get to that in a few slides here, but there is really no other way to do this without XDR in place. You will fall behind and you will be vulnerable without XDR in your environment deployed and used properly. And why? So if you look at these bullets below, right? Attackers are getting extremely sophisticated and they're actually leveraging AI to attack. So it's almost a double whammy today where they are using AI to actually circumvent. So it's almost AI fighting AI, for lack of a better term. They are leveraging automation. So they're accelerating and increasing the way they can. A single attacker now can come at you from multiple stages using automation. It doesn't have to be a one-to-one attack. It could be one person looking like there are 20 or 30 or 40 attackers at once. They're targeted. It's almost like an industry now. It's almost like hackers and malicious actors now focus on specificity when it comes to industries or when it comes to verticals. They target with phishing a certain industry. They target with the ransomware. They target supply chains. And they target specific organizations, right? There are attackers out there that now know what organizations are vulnerable based on a lot of the data that they could mine. They're almost researchers, and they put in a lot of time and effort before they go and target a destination customer, right? Or a potential victim. And now they have a huge playing field, right? The attack surface is just multiplied. You could attack the device, you could attack the cloud workload, you could attack the mobile device versus the Windows device. There are way too many ways today to attack an individual and all of their technology, if you will, footprint within, in the environment. And finally, they saturate you. If you look at the first bullet, because of AI and because of automation, you get saturated. IT is getting saturated with these attacks, and you can't keep up. They know that if they can attack you 3 or 4 times, you're going to focus your defenses there, And while your focus is in your defenses there, they're actually coming through some other way to attack you where you're not paying attention. It gives you very little time to react. It's almost like playing a whack-a-mole. You cannot continue to use old methods to go after these attackers, because as soon as you whack one mole, another one pops up. You need a more consolidated approach to these defenses. So who benefits from XDR? Pretty much everybody. At the enterprise level, the beauty of XDR is that in the enterprise, uh, most of our customers, most enterprise customers, not just our customers, are using numerous products and numerous ways to defend, whether it's endpoints or cloud workloads or whatever that might be, right? The beauty of XDR is that it can take all of these and consolidate them and allow the enterprise security team to have almost a single pane of glass into how they're being exposed and how they're being attacked. At the mid-size level, we see XDR as a game changer, because at the mid-size level, and this is where we see a lot of our customers getting attacked, is and mid-size customers can't afford, not they don't always want to go after a SOC. They don't want to invest in a dedicated SOC because it's just too much money. Um, at the mid-size level, the XDR can almost become their SOC. It gives them that maturity without the spend, if you will, of hiring a SOC or even implementing their own SOC, because that could be an expensive proposition. And we're also seeing XDR play a huge role with managed security services providers. Why? Because the XDR can actually be a centralized product that gives them visibility across their multiple clients, and they could potentially, as an MSSP, also learn from behavior, attacker behavior, and malicious actors' behavior, and from that behavior, they can apply the defenses across all of their clients to protect them all equally. And what all of them benefit from is the reality of a remote heavy workforce today. Sometimes we think of remote as in, like, work from home. That's just not what we're talking about here. Remote meaning every single user, regardless of your location. Why? Because all users are remote. Whether I'm in the office today, I'm on the road tomorrow, I'm in the office every day, it doesn't matter. I am a remote worker. I have my mobile device. I check my email on my mobile device. I check my email on my laptop. I chat on my mobile device. I chat when I'm up in the Northeast, the same way I chat when I'm up down in the Midwest, right? Or it doesn't matter um, where you're physically located, you are a remote worker. And this cross-layer protection across the whole entire digital estate is very complex, because it's almost like spaghetti. We're moving across devices, we're moving across geographies, and XDR is really the only way for a security team to be able to capture that whole landscape and protect against it, and keep individuals and their data and their intellectual property protected. So what does XDR provide us? What does enhanced threat detection provide us, right? Improved visibility. The automation piece is very important. Automated detection is great, but the automated responses are just as important, right? Detecting is great. Doing nothing about it provides me no value. And trying to keep up, as we talked about earlier, as whack-a-mole also provides me. If I'm responding to one incident, the attacker knows that and is going after me with 50 other areas. So we need that automation in the way we respond, right? We need richness in the alerts, so that we're also not getting burdened by alerts and false positives that distract us, that make no sense, or if they make sense, they're just worthless, right? We sometimes get just beaten down by too many alerts that we don't respond to anymore. Uh, XDR allows for faster investigation, thus faster resolution. Um, it's enhanced threat intelligence. The Microsoft XDR offering leverages AI heavily and leverages machine learning And then the beauty of it all, because of AI and ML, we're continuously improving. Microsoft XDR is continuously improving. Thus, it's not as much anymore of a cat and mouse game. We as users of Microsoft XDR are actually in lockstep with these attackers and keeping up with them uh, all the time, and not just always playing catch up. So improved threat and visibility allows you to collect and correlate telemetry from various sources, right? The attackers are coming to us from various locations, and all that data and telemetry is coming to us from various data sources. So we want that holistic view of the threat, of the whole picture of the whole thing, to be able to correlate it across the landscape. Um, the automated detection and response, as I mentioned, Microsoft XDR is using machine learning and analytics to automatically detect anomalies and suspicious activities, always learning, always on the lookout, always hunting. And it automates these responses and isolates um, the infected and affected to make sure that this is the automated response. Make it quick, respond quickly. Don't let it just sit there and fester in your environment and wreak havoc. So events and single incidents, right? Uh, Context is important, and why do we think that rich text alerts are important is because there is something called alert fatigue. And alert fatigue is when, even as a security provider, you start ignoring alerts. And that's what these attackers are depending on, right? To distract you and manipulate you with alerts that you start ignoring. And then over time, they actually gain access because you're fatigued from these alerts, or you start making assumptions that this alert is just actually a false positive. It's nothing. And this is where the context-rich alerts are important, because those alerts in Microsoft XDR are not just stale alerts. They are always updating and ensuring that they are providing you the deltas in all of the alerts that you're receiving. So faster investigation. So there's built-in tools in Microsoft SDRs that enables faster root cause analysis and threats. It actually traces an attacker. It ensures that it's looking at various other areas that attacker might have penetrated the system, or how they came into it, and allows you to respond a lot faster. Because the faster you investigate, the faster you can get to a resolution, the faster you mitigate that attack. And finally, enabling proactive defenses, right? Uh, it's great to find the malicious actor and kick them out, or stop them. It's better to actually be proactive and not even allow them in, right? Put that defense up, and just let them beat their head against the wall and never be able to get in and do such malicious activities. And as I mentioned earlier, AI and ML is a huge piece of this. It is learning uh, faster and building playbooks faster than any human being can do, right? And as these attackers and these malicious actors are actually, everything they do is being tracked and learned, and it's negating them in real time, and it's putting the blockers on them in real time. So you're not always a step behind. So this is the XDR platform, a little bit of a infographic on, and we'll get to this in a little bit. If you look at the bottom here, this is the importance of XDR, is that you're not going and tracing the vulnerabilities and what's happening in your environment in silo. You're taking all of it. You're taking your servers, you're taking your network, taking your cloud, you're taking your endpoints, all of them roll up into XDR. They get parsed and looked at through XDR, and the Microsoft XDR platform actually starts alerting, enforcing automated responses, feeds it into AI for threat visibility and learning. And obviously the top layer that I haven't shown is, yes, there is still a human element to all of this. You still need a security team to actually act at times, but you don't have to have 500 people, sitting behind the XDR monitors to be able to address these issues. A lot of them are being addressed before they get to that human resource. So why? Why are we talking about XDR? There are security products out there. That's for sure, right? I mean, they've been out there, right? And they're still out there. There's nothing wrong with them. They're good ones, but it's the integration piece that is critical. It is ensuring that you have that view across all of your digital estate. EDR, of course, endpoint detection and response, been around for a very long time, still around. XDR actually rolls it in. SIM, XDR rolls it in. Security orchestration, automation, and response still exists. XDR rolls it all up. And now you have it all up in one. You have expanded visibility on the endpoints and beyond the endpoints to include the network. What is that endpoint reaching out to? What is connected to that endpoint, right? As far as SIM is concerned, built-in analytics and machine learning is reducing the noise. Because sometimes it becomes buzzing. Noise is buzzing, and you cannot make out what's meaningful. And finally, when it comes to orchestration and automation, it's that native automation and response capabilities that actually make you extremely effective at going after these attackers. So we're combining the unified approach of XDR is that we're combining EDR, SIM, SOAR. There's plenty others, and we'll have Elite jump in here and provide some additional information as we get into a Q&A. He's our security MVP and can definitely shed a lot more light on this. But we are combining these three into a single pane of glass, if you will, that allows you to better react and better respond and better defend, right? It adds these correlation and AI-driven detection and simplified operation. You're getting that instead of being scattered all over the place, going from one system to the next. And what is XDR ideal for? Faster detection. It prevents that alert fatigue and doesn't get you a little bit complacent when it comes to looking at alerts and just they become a noise. And finally, it's an integrated response, right? You want a single response across the estate, and you want to be able to defend across the whole estate. This is just a little bit high level of a view of the Microsoft security stack. You will notice that XDR lives right there in the middle, right? We won't, in the security series, we'll talk about that more as we next month, and the one after we'll get into Sentinel and all these other products. But what I wanted to showcase here is the fact that for you to get to logging and all of the benefits that Sentinel provide, and for you to actually ensure that all of your workloads up on top, everything that you have in your environment is protected. XDR lives in the middle. XDR has taken all these signals. XDR is receiving all that data and is reacting to all that data and allow you to defend against all of these attackers. So it is, I don't want to call it foundational, but it's that middle layer that you cannot ignore, and you cannot really be efficient if you have it staggered, if you have it disconnected. This is where XDR combines all of this and allows you a single view into protecting. And with that, I will hand it back to you, Andreas.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe, for this presentation. So let's open the floor for Q&A. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A feature in the Teams toolbar up above. And to start it off, I would like to start the first question. What are the potential challenges and limitations organizations might face when integrating Microsoft XDR into their existing cybersecurity infrastructure?
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. So to start with the challenges and limitation in the integration. So it's very important when you are choosing the tool of your environment to protect you from threats and malicious is to make sure that you're choosing a third-party tool or any tool that is out of fiction when it comes to integration. So, for example, XDR um, is a cybersecurity tool that work best with Microsoft native tools. So XDR can be integrated with Sentinel. XDR can be integrated with Microsoft Purview for data protection, and XDR is integrated with Intune to protect endpoint because Intune, you know, it's the most powerful device management modern tool now in the market, and it's integrated through Defender for Endpoint in XDR in order to apply security policies on your endpoints. Also, when choosing XDR, you're moving away from the complexity in the configuration because it provides you a full benefits on how to fine-tune your detection rules. And now with Security for Copilot, it will help you on writing advanced hunting queries, even if you're not able to learn the custom query language, which is the primary language of your advanced hunting queries. And also, um, working with XDR at some point now does not demand a high skilled SOC analyst to be familiar with all the cybersecurity skill set, but also it provides you a learning curve with all the online documentation that Microsoft is posting day to day in order on how to use and benefit from your Microsoft XDR product. And maybe one of the challenges at the cost. You know, Defender for XDR with all the stacks is included in Microsoft 365 E5, but Microsoft recently introduced what we call Business Premium, which allows the SMB spaces to get the Business Premium SKU, and if they want to add more security feature to their premium SKU, they can get the add-on, MC65 add-on as a additional SQ to get those security features that XDR provide also. And the most important is to choose the right XDR tool that reduce the AI noises. That's first, and then reduce the false positive in your environment. And last but not least, it's very important for some synchronization to know that data sovereignty or where is the data located. And I think most of the reliable places to put your data is with Microsoft XDR because you know where it resides. So those mainly what are the challenges that are being faced nowadays to choose the right XDR tool.
A question we have is how does the implementation of XDR impact the overall cybersecurity strategy of an organization?
Well, yeah, so with Microsoft XDR, there's a lot of advantages. First of all, you will get a unified portal for threat and detection response. XDR correlate all the data from multiple sources, from your endpoint, from your network, from your servers, from your emails, and even from the Azure resources. And even if you are on cloud resources or AWS resources, you can get all your data through Microsoft Defender for Cloud, which is already integrated with XDR. Um, Giving that unified view, it will allows you to reduce the blind spots. You will have an eye everywhere in your environment. You will can check all the timeline, all the logs happening in your environment. You will have a faster correlation of the threat signals even. And Microsoft is now XDR are leveraging the AI and all the learning model in the such as attack disruption, AIR for Microsoft Defender for Office 365. It will help you to improve your detection of sophisticated and multi-factor attacks happening nowadays in the cybersecurity world. Second, all the automation that I already explained allows you to reduce the time requested to detect and contain a threat. and also minimize the manual investigation effort required to close an incident. And also, with the agent now introduced from Microsoft, it will act on behalf of you in order to help you in prioritizing what is the most critical threats in my environment, what I should look for today using those AI agent. Also, with XDR now, Microsoft already introduced some powerful tools like exposure management and SOC optimization, which help the security team to do more with fewer resources. So as mentioned, Joe, before, you don't need to have 500 people working in your security team, but because you have exposure management and SOC optimization, 2 to 3 people, depends on the company size, can do the job. And with this tool also will help you to reduce the alert fatigue by correlating and prioritizing alert, and also will help the analyst to focus on strategic tasks. Last but not least, with exposure management also, XDR help you to stronger your security posture. And with the integration also with TIs, with shared threat intelligence feeds, which you can find a lot of information shared by a lot of security researchers worldwide, it will allow you to be proactive to avoid any future attacks. Also, one of the big title nowadays, and we heard a lot about the zero trust architecture. So XDR comply with what we call zero trust architecture and have a lot of tools that help you achieve that zero trust concept in your environment.
All right. How can organization measure the effectiveness of their XDR solution in real-time threat detection and response?
Well, yeah, so in order to quantify how much your XDR is effective, you need to use what we call key performance metrics or indicators, and the KPIs. So the first KPI we use is the mean time to detect, which gives you the time required to identify a threat. And the second factor is the mean time to respond, which is the time to contain and to mediate a threat. Also, there is a lot of reports in XDR that you can use that shows you the detection rate, which is the percentage of threats that were detected against what is flagged as true positive. And also the most powerful tool in XDR that help you prove that your Microsoft XDR is very efficient is the percentage of incident handled by AI and learning machine model without a human intervention, such as attack disruption, ZAP, and all those features that rely on AI feature to automate the like resolving the incident in your environment. For sure, when you integrate your XDR with Sentinel, you will start using what we call meter and attack techniques, which is an integration between Sentinel and XDR to help you like tag the threat that is happening in an environment based on the techniques and based on the attack that the let's say the actors are trying to use. And also in XDR, you have a part that most of the people does not know about it unless someone introduces it, which is a training simulation, which allow you to launch training and cybersecurity awareness trainings for your user, get them like challenged by some simulation attacks, and show them how the attacks, how the phishing email nowadays look like, and how they should react against them to provide any to prevent any risks. So that's mainly, and also it's important to mention here that XDR is well developed and to support HIPAA, to support GDPR, to support PCI, and all those regulatory compliance that some companies nowadays try to be compliant against them. So XDR will help them to achieve that as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ali. As I'm sharing right now, we'll be continuing our security chapter till end of August. Stay on the lookout for our post-webinar email for additional information. Thank you for joining us and have a good end of day.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.